All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at an example here. Now, the thing is, what's different about this one than the last time we talked about factor terminals, we have a 5 here now. And that does affect how we choose our factors. So, as we said before, the first term factors, I'm at a 5m squared here. And then, so that I wanted the first term factors are going to give us 5m squared. The last ones are going to give us a positive 9. Now again, because that's positive, because this is positive, ladies and gentlemen, it means the signs are going to be the same. And they have to add up to be a negative 14 when combined with our first term factors of 5m. So the only ones we have for the first term factors, and it's kind of nice, is 1m times 5m. Nothing else is going to multiply together to give you 5m squared. Now when we do 9, we've got 1 times 9, and I've got 3 times 3. Okay? Now, because this is positive, they have to be the same sign. Because this is negative, they're both going to be negative because they've got to combine with the first terms to give you a negative 14. So I can go ahead and say I know that these are both going to be negative. If this would have been positive, they would both be positive. All the factors would be positive. So, if you don't understand that, just think that they've got to combine together to give you that middle term. So, let's take a look here, and let's see if we can pick our factors. Well, I know the first term factors have to be m and 5m. You don't have to write 1m, but m and 5m. So I'm done here. That's done. Now I've got to figure out, well, if you take a look at what we did before, you would say which one of the last term factors adds up to negative 14, that middle term. None of them do. But remember, we have this 5 here, that when we do our outer and inner, our FOIL method is going to affect that middle term. So you're not going to get either of these to add up to your middle term when you have a number other than 1 out in front of m squared. So how do you do this? I hate to say it, people, you just got to guess and check. So let's try 1 and 9. I'm just going to start from the top. I'm going to try 1 and 9 and see if this works right here. Now I'm going to intentionally go 9 here and 1 here. Okay? I know you're saying, why don't you just put the 1 first? Because I want to show you something. Now these are both going to be negative. Now let's check with our FOIL method. We're going to check. Okay? So if you do your first, you do 5m times 5, or 1m times 5, and that's 5m squared. That's what we wanted. You do your outers. M times negative 1 is negative 1m. You do your inners. Negative 9 times 5 is negative 45m. And then you do your lasts. Negative 9 times negative 1 is positive 9, which we get our last one. The thing that's going to determine if you have the right group is if we get that negative 14 in the middle. And you take a look, negative 1 minus negative 45 is negative 46m. Okay, that is not negative 14m. So that doesn't mean, ladies and gentlemen, because of that 5 out in front, because we have factors here other than 1, it doesn't mean that you throw this group out right here. What you do is, ladies and gentlemen, you go ahead and you switch the two terms around. In other words, it will give you a different middle term if we take, and let's put the 1 here, the negative 1 here, and the negative 9 here. Now, we're still going to get 5m squared as our first term. We're still going to get 9 as our last term. It's that middle term that will change. So let's take a look. M times 5m is 5m squared. Outers would be negative 9m. Inners would be negative 5m. And then you get your last term of plus 9. So what is negative 9m minus 5m? It's negative 14m. We get 5m squared minus 14m plus 9. Now if you take a look, that's exactly what we started with. Okay? By switching these last two terms, and the 1 and the 9, switch their positions, then we do get a different middle term, unlike what we did when we had just 1m squared, or this trinomial was the leading coefficient was 1. And now again, an order doesn't matter with respect to the binomials. You could have 5m minus 9 times m minus 1. It doesn't matter. As long as you got an m minus 1, 5m minus 9. So this was the group that worked. We don't even need to try the last group. This right here, ladies and gentlemen, is your factored form. And again, you can write it like that, or you can write it like this. it doesn't matter. The order in which the binomials are written doesn't matter. As long as, ladies and gentlemen, you have a 5 and a minus 9 as one of them and then minus 1. Okay? All right, we'll go on to another example here in the next video.